So in this video we'll be learning about JavaScript variables. Now there are two types of JavaScript variables. One is simply a JavaScript variable and the other is a custom JavaScript variable. We'll look into both of them. Firstly we'll go to variables here, and in variables if we go into user defined variables we'll be able to see JavaScript variable and custom JavaScript variable. Now firstly JavaScript variable, as you can see, the value is set to that of the global JavaScript variable that you specify. So for example, if you have a global variable name, for example I have document dot title. Now the value of this variable is the page title. Alright, so whatever page I am on, the title of the page is the value of this variable. So for what this does is, the JavaScript variable, it takes the value of this variable and sets it as its own value. So the value of this variable as well will be the document title. So suppose I am on my own website and the title is portfolio, right? So the value of this variable, for example, is portfolio. The value of document.title is portfolio. So that same value will become the value of the JavaScript variable as well. Now there was also one thing that if we go back, and it says the value is set to that of the global JavaScript variable. Now there are two types of variables in JavaScript. One is your local variable and the other is global variable. So the difference is very simple. I'll show you that as well. So suppose you have a function, alright, you have a function named my function, let's say, right, and then you declare a variable inside it. Suppose you have my name, alright, you have this set to there. So now what happens is, the variable is getting declared inside the function, right? So it is local only to that function. Whereas if my variable, if it was declared outside the function, then it would have become global, which means it's declared out of the function, right? So it becomes global to all the scripts and functions on a web page, and all of them can access it. So this is the simple difference between local variable and global variable, just to keep in mind. Alright, so now we saw document title. So like that we can get many other things. If I wanted to get the browser language as the value of my JavaScript variable, I would write navigator dot language, and the value of my JavaScript variable would then become the language of the browser. Alright, then let's say I go to my website and go to inspect, and in console if you just type window, let's say we want to fetch a value from here. So inside GA global we can see we have something called HID. So let's say I want the value of that. So it's inside GA global, right? So I'll have to mention that GA global dot HID. So it is saying that fetch the value from HID which is inside GA global. So this is how you use the JavaScript variable. Now the custom JavaScript variable is used for more complex functions. Like if you want to get a page title or page URL and you want to convert it all into a lowercase, so all that things for all that things a custom JavaScript can be used. I'll show you that as well. Let's go back, new, and let's go to custom. Firstly, this variable uses the provided JavaScript function to calculate its value in the browser. Each time this variable is used, the function will be executed and its return value will be used. Now what this means is that in any JavaScript you have a function and that function returns some value, right? So whenever you write a function and the function is returning a value, that value will become the value of this variable. That is the simple meaning of this. So let's say the example we took earlier, suppose we want to convert the we want to get the URL and convert it into a lowercase. So we'll write function and then return URL or page URL dot to lower case. right? And then so the function, what is happening inside the function, it is returning the page URL and converting it to lowercase. So the URL in lowercase will be the value of this variable. So now let's just see it in action. Firstly, let's name it as CJS lowercase URL, right? And we'll save it. And then let's go to preview. So yeah, now both our JavaScript variable and our custom JavaScript variable should be working. So let's go here and let's see in content initialization. Now you can see the URL has already been fetched, but HID has not yet been fetched. So this is where, yeah, this is where your HID will be fetched. And here, if you notice that our URL, everything is in lowercase itself, so we don't know if it's actually working or not. So I'll just put in hello here in uppercase and press enter. And now if we go to element visibility here, and if we check the hello that's here, it's in lowercase, because we had told the in our function we had told that we must convert the URL to lowercase, so the value that was returned becomes the value of the variable, right? And HID again will, yeah. And if we want to verify this 46439, we can go here, inspect, console, type in window, and under GA global 46439 we can see that it is correct. Alright, so this was basically a deep dive into JavaScript variables. So thank you for watching.